In 1796 April, Admiral Jarvis gives Nelson the rank of Commodore, a kind of junior admiral, and a small squadron of Genoa. Nelson is ordered to support the Austrian army and capture all ships sailing to France. In the same year, 1796, Nelson, now Commodore, is too senior to command the ship. He transfers to HMS Captain, which now becomes his flagship. His squadron covers the evacuation of British families from Leghorn, Corsica, and Elba. In the same year, in 1796, in HMS La Minerva, Nelson, together with HMS Blanche en route to Elba from Gibraltar, engaged two Spanish frigates, the Santa Sabina and Ceres, and defeated them. In 1797, February 14th, Battle of St. Vincent, Nelson has rejoined the main British fleet, 15 ships of the line of the Cap of St. Vincent. The Spanish fleet of 27 ships, including 22 ships of the line, is sighted and engaged in battle. In the same year, 1797, Nelson, realizing the Spanish fleet in danger of escape, orders HMS Captain to break line and head for the Spanish flagship. HMS Captain is shot to pieces, but Nelson greatly distinguishes himself by boarding and capturing two huge Spanish warships. This is so his military tactics, this show which his courage and bravery is really mention of greatness. Nelson, in the same year, 1797, Nelson becomes a national hero. He is knighted, given the freedom of the city of London, and promoted to Rear Admiral of the Blue. In 1797, same year, May and June, mutinies on Royal Navy ships, including Nelson's flagship HMS Theseus at the north, and threatened to undermine Britain's war efforts. In the same year, May 27, Nelson is ordered to Cadiz to blockade the Spanish fleet there, and on July 3rd, leads an attack of bomb vessels on the city. His ship is boarded and Nelson is nearly killed in the fighting, but he still went on. In the same year, July, Nelson is sent with a small squadron to attack Santa Cruz de Tenerife, where a Spanish treasure ship lies. The Spanish garrison is prepared for the attack on July 21st and bears it off with great loss of life. In the same year, July 24th, Nelson himself leads a second attack. His arm is shattered by a musket ball. He is taken back on board his ship. HMS Theseus, where he injured arm, is amputated by ship surgeon Thomas Esselby. In the same year, 1797, Nelson sails home on HMS Seahorse and is nursed by his wife Fanny, much to his surprise. He finds that he is regarded even more as a hero and is invested with the Order of the Bath by the King on September 27. In the same year, 1797, December, Nelson begs to be allowed to return to activity duty and is given the 74th gun HMS Vanguard as his flagship. He is to lead a squadron of 7 ships in a search for a French expeditionary force commanded by General Napoleon Bonaparte. 1798, May, news of a large French force being collected at Toulon reaches the fleet, and Nelson is sent with a small squadron to find out what is going on. His flagship is nearly wrecked by bad weather. In 1798, on July, arriving off Toulon, Nelson finds a large force gone. He is informed he is to command a fleet. His small squadron is reinforced by large warships, bringing the number under his command to 11. In the same year, 1798, Nelson searches the length and breadth of the Mediterranean for the enemy, all the time explaining to his captains his battle plans. On June 22nd, whilst off Sicily, he learned that Malta has been captured by the French. Nelson assumes they have sailed for Egypt. In the same year, 1798, June 28, Nelson arrives at Alexandria. The French are not there, and he frantically sails back to Sicily and then back to the Egyptian coast. Finally, sighting the French fleet moved in a line at Aboukir Bay, Nelson immediately sailed to engage with the French ships. In the same year, August 1st, the Battle of the Nile begins. Nelson's leading ships sailed between the French ships and the land so that they can be fired at from both the sides. The Captain Nelson's ship poured shots into the French ship. In the battle around 11 p.m., the French flagship El Orient blows up. The Battle of the Nile is a great victory. 13 out of 17 French ships are captured, sunk, or burned, leaving Napoleon Emperor of France stranded in Egypt. During the battle, Nelson is hit in the head by the shrapnel, knocking him out. He sails his fleet back to Naples to repair his ship. The great victory boosts Nelson's status as a national hero. Nelson receives the title Baron Nelson of the Nile. September 22nd, Nelson's arrival in Naples is met with chaotic scenes of celebrations. Sir William Hamilton, the British ambassador, and his wife Emma greets him. Nelson falls in love with Emma Hamilton and starts an affair which will last to the end of his life. October 15th, Nelson, now commander of operations east of Corsica, sails to Malta to enforce a blockade there and to assist its inhabitants and other British allies in Italy. November 5th, Nelson returns to Naples. He joins an offensive to take Rome, but it ends with the retreat of the royal family and other dignitaries in December from Naples to the safety to Palermo, Sicily. In 1799, 14th February, Nelson is promoted to Rear Admiral of the Red Letter. 25th French ships of the line escaped from Brest and 17th Spanish ship from Cadiz. Nelson sends 10 ships to help the pursuit, but stays in Palermo. In the same year, 1799, June 16, Spain declares war on British. Nelson sends 4 ships to support Cardinal Fabrizio Ruffo's army, sent to recapture Naples. Ruffo secures a surrender, but Nelson, arriving in June, does not agree with the terms. Trials of Neapolitan traitor follow. Nelson is ruthless in enacting the death sentence. Nelson is ordered by Lord Keith, now Mediterranean commander-in-chief, to defend the island of Menorca against French invasion. Nelson declines and only sends ships, thinking it more important to save Naples. August 9, Nelson returns to Palermo. He stays here until May 1800 on leaving to inspect the blockade of Malta in January 1800. King Ferdinand rewards Nelson's services by granting him a title of Sicilian nobility, the Duke of Bronte. In 1800 January, while cruising off Malta, Nelson's flagship sights the surviving ship of the Battle of the Nile, the Guanarocks. Nelson gives chase and after a short fight takes the ship. In the same year, 1800 April, Lord Spencer, first Lord of the Admiralty, suggests Nelson returns to England to recover his strength. Nelson travels overland with the Hamiltons. Everywhere he is moved by adoring crowds, arriving back in England at Great Yarmouth on November 6th. In the same year, 1800, November 8th, Nelson has a tense meeting with his wife, accompanied by the Hamiltons at Marriott's Hotel, King Street, St. James. 1800, same year, November 11th, Nelson attends a royal levee at St. James Palace. Nelson is wearing unauthorized foreigner honors and awards. He is shunned by King George III, and the Queen refuses to meet Emma Hamilton. In 1801, January 13, Nelson meets Francis for the last time. They argue over Emma. Nelson arranges for his wife to be paid a pound 400 as a one-off lump sum and received a quarterly allowance. Effectively, the marriage has ended. In the same 1801, January 17, Nelson is promoted to Vice Admiral of the Blue and appointed second in command in Admirals Sir Hyde Parker, whose fleet is to sail for the Baltic. The Russian, Prussian, and Danish governments are preparing for war with Britain. In the same 1801, February 1st, Emma Hamilton gives birth to Nelson's daughter, Horatio. Nelson is at anchor in Torbay preparing to sail. He is ecstatic. In the same 1801, Admiral Sir Hyde Parker gives Nelson command over the ships sent in against the Danish fleet in Copenhagen harbor. On 2nd April in the same year, the Battle of Copenhagen starts poorly. Nelson's squadron attacked fiercely. Parker, with the heavier ships, takes title part At the height of the battle, Parker raises the flag to withdraw. Nelson puts his telescope to his blind eye and claims to cannot see the signal. The fierce battle continued until Nelson proposed a truce. Following negotiation, the Danes agreed to peace with England. The British people view the Battle of Copenhagen as a great victory. On hearing about the battle, ministers in England asked Nelson to take over Parker's command. He is appointed commander-in-chief of the Baltic Fleet. Nelson is also made a Viscount. In 1802, March 27, Treaty of Amiens is signed, ending the war between Britain and France. Nelson returns to civilians' life. He buys Merton Palace, a country house and estate in Surrey, where he lived briefly with Hamilton. April 26th, Nelson's father dies. Nelson does not attend the funeral at Burnham Thorpe, not wishing to meet his wife. 1803, Nelson's second child with Emma, another girl, dies a few weeks after her birth in early 1803. Nelson is devastated. April 6, in the same 1803, Emma's husband, William Hamilton, dies at his home in Piccadilly, London. Both Emma and Nelson are present. In the same 1803, Horatio is christened aged 2 at St. Marylebone Parish Church. Emma and Horatio act as the godparents, naming her as the daughter of Vice Admiral Charles Thompson of Portsmouth Dockyard as a cover story. Her natural parents later adopt her. In the same 1803, May 15th, Nelson is appointed Mediterranean Commander-in-Chief. Diplomatic relationship between the Britain and France are at crisis point. Britain declares war on France on May 16. In the same year, May 8, Nelson boards the HMS Victory, the flagship he has been given. Nelson is now Commander-in-Chief of the Mediterranean Fleet, one of the two most important commanders in the Navy. In 1804, April 23rd, Nelson is promoted to Vice Admiral of the White while still at sea. In 1804, same year, May 18th, Napoleon is proclaimed Emperor of the French by the Senate. On December 2nd, he is crowned at Notre Dame Cathedral. In the same year, 1804, December 14, Spain joined France, declaring war on Britain, raising the threat of an invasion of Britain by a combined French and Spanish fleet. In the same year, August, Nelson asked the Admiralty for the leave of account of his health. His vision is failing and he has lost much weight under the stress. In 1805, January, the French fleet under Admiral Villeneuve escapes briefly from Toulon, but soon returned to port. Villeneuve breaks out again in April, and this time manages to sail into the Atlantic. Nelson chases the French fleet all the way to the West Indies and back again. The French fleet and their way to Cadiz, where the Spanish fleet is based. Nelson's fleet blockade the Franco-Spanish fleet there, but returns to England. Nelson is given a rapturous reception by the people. He spends short time with Emma and his daughter at Merton, but in September news arrives that the Spanish and French fleets are about to sail. Nelson returns command the fleet blockading Cadiz. In the same year, 1805, October 20th, the Spanish and the French fleet is spotted making its way out of Cadiz harbor, and the next day the two fleets approach one another. Nelson sends this signal to his fleet. England expects that very man will do his duty. On the same year, in 1805, on 21st October, the Battle of Trafalgar, which is the most important battle, the Battle of Trafalgar begins, and the victory engages the enemy ships, Buchenchaud and Redoutable. After only 5 hours of British capture 17 ships and burn one of the 33 French ships. As snipers from the enemy ships fire onto Victory's deck, Nelson is mortally wounded shortly after 1 o'clock. Nelson is carried below, and 3 hours later, he dies. Just mean hero dies in the Battle of Trafalgar. by the sniper of the French sniper. The battle comes to an end and the British fleet is victorious. HMS Victory is towed into Gibraltar. When news reaches England, the king says in tears, "We have lost more than we have gained." In 1806, January 9th, the funeral of Horatio Nelson takes place. The coffin is escorted by 32 admirals, over 100 captains, and 10,000 troops, which was a great funeral and given the great prestige to any general. A huge crowd waits to catch a glimpse of the funeral procession. Nelson is laid to rest in St. Paul's Cathedral. This is all I have explained about the timeline, about Horatio Nelson, about his achievement, about his courage, and what he has gone through. Now, let's see what his world was about. What Horatio Nelson's world was. As an officer and a gentleman in Georgian society, the world into which Nelson was born was one where the richest general through overseas trade brought about the rise of a wealthy new middle class. Despite this, a person's role in society was still largely dependent on the family into which they were born. You can see here, you can pause the video, you can go through these towns and villages, what is written around him. Then you can see about his rural life. You can see about the squire as a vicer. Then you can see here the gentry and the aristocracy. Then you can see here his family ties. Then you can also pause your videos and you can see about his finding suitable employment. Then using family connections also you can go through. Using power to influence the government, you can go what he has done. A chance of advancement, joining the nobility, a Georgian celebrity, spreading the news, Georgian spin, waiting for the news, untying the nation, new ideas, religion, morals, and ethics. You can go through this part, religion, ethics, and morals and ethics. Then he changes viewing and a passion for glory. Yes, a passion for glory. The man like Nelson, who have great military achievement, as far as we can tell, Nelson made no reference to the evils of slavery in any of his correspondence, even though he married the widow of a West Indian planter. That means he believed equality in the society. You can go through all about his achievement, all about his life, and all about his, if you want to know about his early life, you can pause the video, you can read out under the topic which I have mentioned here. Now let's see what about the views of people about him. See the views and opinions about the great general Horatio Nelson. The loss of a hero whose name will be immortal and his memory ever dear to his country. This is by the Vice Admiral Collingwood, Commander-in-Chief of the Fleet of Carthage. Then another contemporary report says that Lord Nelson think of nothing but Lady Hamilton, who is totally occupied by the same subject. You can see all these about what the people think about him. You can pause the video, you can see. You can pause the video and you can see. Okay, you can pause the video and you can see all about his achievement and what the people think about him. If you want to see and read anything, you can pause the video and you can read out. Okay, so this was all about his vision and what people say about him. And was he a hero? Should Horatio Nelson be considered as a hero? Yes. We can see here, he led from the front. Les Nelson often led the battle from the front. His ship was regularly first to engage the enemy. He could be ruthless. when Naples was retaken after a French invasion. You can see here, I'm opening everything for you. You just go through, you pause the video if you want to read and if you want to know more about it. Okay. I hope you have understood the whole video and you have liked this video. You have understood about Horatio Nelson well. So keep on watching my video. Good day. Have a nice day.